Hi there, my name is Catherine Kelly in case you haven't seen any of my videos before. Today I'm here to talk about my February favorites. So these are products that I've been loving throughout February. Some are new products, some are ones that I've been using for a long time but have been using a little bit more in February, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So starting off with the eyes, I do have one product to mention. This is an eyeshadow palette. It's the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. So this is actually the only palette in the Naked range that I own. I got it pretty soon after it came out, and basically it's just 12 matte shades. Actually, this one is like what they call a demi-matte, but other than that, they're all pretty matte. And I love this palette. Like I said, got it soon after it came out, and I use it pretty consistently all the time, but I've been really using it a lot in February, especially for this orange shade called Extra Bitter. And I'll swatch that for you. But basically, like, it comes off a little bit brown, but it just has that nice, like, orangey tone. I think this might be pretty similar to a shade in the new Petite Heat palette that they're coming out with, which I'm really excited to get my hands on as well. But yeah, some of my favorite shades, like I said, are that one, and then Lethal right here. And then I also really like Magnet, which is this gray shade, and that's pretty unique in my collection, so I do enjoy using that on occasion. Okay, next I have a mascara, and this is the Annabelle Big Show mascara. It comes in a pink tube like this. And this I kind of just bought on a whim because it was on sale. But as you can see, it has like a really large bristly brush, and I just find that it gives me like a lot of volume. I guess that's why it's called Big Show. But yeah, I just find that it really like separates my lashes but keeps them really voluminous. So I've been liking using it with that Blink primer that I mentioned in my January favorites, and I'll link that below. But yeah, I've been using the Blink primer and then putting this on top, and it makes my lashes like really large and voluminous, so I've really been liking that. And then we have this Essence Eyebrow Gel, and this is like more of a pomade, so when you open it, it's just one of these like pomade things, and I use it in the shade 01 Brown. So I've been using this in my brows, and honestly, this is the first time that I've ever used a pomade. I kind of wanted to try a cheaper one before I buy a really high-end product that I've never used anything like before. But I've really been liking this. It is what I'm wearing in my brows today, and it's really easy to use. Like, it's subtle when you first put it in your brows, but then it can easily be built up, and it makes it really easy to be precise but also have the impact that you want in your brows, which I can really appreciate. So I would definitely recommend this if you haven't tried it before. Like I said, I think it's like $4.99 at Shoppers, so you can't really beat that. Okay, so moving on to face products, I have quite a few to mention. One is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. I actually did a whole review on this, and I'll link it below, but I have been loving this. I haven't gotten my new shade. I have ordered it, but it's not here yet, but I've been using this 01 Creamy Vanilla, and as I mentioned in the review, it's not quite the right shade for me, but I have still been using it a lot, almost every day in February, and I'm really excited to get my new shade. Okay, a color corrector that I have is the Essence Correcting Liquid Concealer. And this is like a yellow toned concealer, as you can see. And this they recommend to put under your eyes. Now, traditionally, I normally put a more peachy colored concealer under my eyes if I have really dark circles. But since it recommended that you use the yellow underneath the eyes, I did. And I actually really, really like it. But I find if I really concentrate it like right near the inner corner, it does a great job of correcting any darkness I have there, and then when I put concealer over it, it looks perfect. So I have actually been using this most days. I realize some days I might not need it, but it just kind of gives like the base that I want for my concealer, so I've really been liking that. And the concealer I've been wearing on top of it the most is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser, and I have it in the shade Fair. So basically, I'm sure everybody has heard of this before, but it's just a concealer, and it comes through this spongy thing at the top. I hate the applicator personally, but the concealer is really great. The only thing I have about it is that I did only get it in February, and as you can see, I'm probably already more than halfway through. So I don't know if I'm using like too much product or if there's just like not that much product in there, but that's like the only downside of it is I have been going through it pretty quickly, but I do like it, especially for under the eyes. I have been using it every day in February, and I find that it gives me the exact amount of coverage that I'm looking for, and even after I've powdered, it looks really smooth and doesn't really crease underneath my eyes, which is great. I also like to put it down here like below my contour to just sharpen up my contour a little bit, and I've really been liking that. So I find it gives like a really nice brightening effect down here and under the eyes, so yeah. Okay, next I have a primer, and this probably isn't very popular, but it's the Joe Fresh Matte Primer, and it says it's oil absorbing, clear, and shine free. So I bought this at Shoppers, and honestly, it comes out like just like this. So it does have a little bit of a tint to it when you squeeze it out in the tube, but then it does blend out completely clear like the package says. But what I've really been liking about this is it's a very like sticky and tacky primer. So it's honestly one of like the stickiest primers that I've ever used, and I find that makeup just glides over it really smoothly and sticks to it really well. So I've had a couple of dry patches on my nose, so I haven't really been applying it to my nose lately because I find when I do have dry patches on my nose and I apply any primer, it just kind of creates a little bit of a mess. But I've been applying it just on the sides of my nose where I get oily, on my chin and on my forehead, and I find that it does a really great job at like prolonging the wear of my makeup, making me look less oily throughout the day, and like I said, it's really sticky and it provides a great base. So I would definitely recommend this if you haven't tried it already. A bronzer I've been loving this month is this bronzer by Smashbox. It's called the Bronze Lights Bronzer, and the shade is Warm Matte, and it looks like this. I have had it for a while, but I've kind of just been using it more so this month. I didn't use it a whole lot before, but I've actually really been liking it. It does remind me of the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer a little bit, besides smell obviously. But if I put it right here, you can see it's just a little bit like of a warm bronzer. It is pretty light, so you don't have to worry about a whole lot of pigment on your brush, which I can appreciate, but it does build up really nice. And yeah, I've just been liking it. I don't find that it's like patchy or streaky on my skin, and it's been my go-to for February. So that's it. Those are my February favorites. I would really recommend all the products that I have mentioned. There are some really great drugstore options and a couple more expensive things too. If you did like the video, I would encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post new videos every single Wednesday. Again, I just wanted to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.